I've got Debbie Asplund here from Century 21. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank
Are
you.
you excited?
No. Yeah, I am.
First question out the gate. How long have you been in the business?
14 years.
Exact?
Well,
You know,
in
the
May.
Oh,
Like
okay.
in May. Yeah. Yeah.
What drove you into starting this?
Well, I moved back here in 2000 and I remarried and I got into construction because my dad was in construction, built some spec homes, and then it just kind of naturally flowed into real estate. The market was down then. It's like 2010 and perfect time to get into real estate because you just start at the bottom and you can only go up.
Right?
Yeah.
So you kind of saw the aftermath
Correct.
of everything. Did it hit construction hard
It did.
during that?
In like 2008.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It did.
Like went from 100 to nothing, or?
Oh, yes and no. I mean, people are still building, but it's not like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like it is now
Yeah.
because there is a shortage of homes.
Yeah. And
Even though it seems like it's not, there is.
HOAs, is that kind of the way that?
In subdivisions, it doesn't really matter. If you do a subdivision, you have to have some kind of, not an HOA so much, but as, what is it called? Now I can't even think of the name of it. You have to have CC&Rs.
Oh, okay.
And even back when, because my dad was a builder here in the valley for many, many years, and I will go and show a home, and it's this little block, and it actually has little CC&Rs that they had to write.
Really?
If you develop so many lots, you have to write one.
Oh, that's fun memories to bring.
Right?
So then you're licensed in both Idaho and Washington.
Correct.
Yeah. Have you considered like the construction part, or did you ever go back?
I didn't.
No.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I did, I was a general on it. And,
That's crazy.
most of them thought my husband was, but no, it was me. And he would tell them that.
Me.
Right? But no, I like what I do
Yeah.
a lot. So no, probably not.
For the years you've, been in, how many, have you been in different agencies, or have you?
Nope, I've
only
stuck
been
with
at
the same
Century
one.
21.
Yep.
Love it. What are some, things that have, kept you? Because it seems like lately there's been so much change into other, why would people change?
I don't know if it's, I don't know. Sometimes people make it seem greener on the other side, but it's not. It's like, why reinvent the wheel of where you're at?
Right.
And changing just seems like it's not going to make a difference, I don't think. Me personally, I just think longevity somewhere says something, and they've been good to me. So
Are you in the office every day?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And you have a team?
I do not. I just have an assistant.
Okay.
And a very, very part-time assistant.
No.
It's my daughter. So.
Yeah, I know. That's fun. Are you teaching her into maybe getting into it?
Right now she's raising her boys. Her husband owns a electrical company. So he's busy. And so I don't know. I mean, she's licensed. She'll probably keep her license, but I don't know if she'll ever go into it full time.
Sure.
So
what are some words of wisdom you would give her if she was to be like, hey mom, I'm going to go into this?
Oh, I love it, but I'd tell her to run. No, I wouldn't. Just to, be honest and be there when they need you. And yeah.
Do you like working with buyers or sellers?
This last year I've been with a lot of listings and they're nice, but it's kind of fun to do the buyers, So it kind of goes through cycles. Like I'll have a whole bunch of listings and no buyers, and all of a sudden you have buyers and
just
the
waves.
listings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which is nice. I like to deal with both.
Yeah.
I'd like to deal with a lot of the first timers that have never bought a house. They just do anything you ask them, and they're, I know, right? So I get kind of motherly over it because of them. So
when, you have someone that comes in that has no idea about anything, how do you gently, how do you kind of approach? I just stuff?
Bring them in and we just talk about it and tell them, there's going to be ups and downs in it because there is. I mean, they're going to, I always want them to get pre-qualified, and you.
Definitely no.
Get
See where you
pre-qualified.
fit.
Yeah, because if you go and start looking and you're like, they want to look at the 500,000 and they may be approved for 300 and then they fall in love. And so I usually bring them in, sit down with them. We go over things, how it works, from beginning to end. And, that when they find that house, they're going to know.
Yeah.
They usually do.
Do you like to know like the bumps that go along the road, when it comes to the whole thing? Or do you just kind of want to be like, you handle that,
No,
tell me when it's done?
I kind of handle it to a point till you have to ask them because you don't want to upset them. They don't understand. I do this every day. Does it upset me? Yes, but I can deal with it. They don't do it every day. So if you
True.
tell them, they're like, panicked, and you're like, oh, no big deal. And so then you look kind of flippant, and I don't want to be that way. So.
Yes. show how you don't want to feel like, or,
Right.
promote to them. Oh, I'm not freaking out inside.
Right. Yeah, because
Cool.
we talk about it. It's like why stir the pot with them, and it just causes more problems.
Yeah.
Until they have to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we get paid for.
Yeah, that's part of the whole thing.
That's right.
Would you think that you're part of a communication specialist? If you put it into like an actual education.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is there a transaction, good or bad, that like throughout your whole years, that is memorable?
They're all a little memorable.
Oh,
and
that's
it's funny because now been in long enough, you drive by, oh, I sold that house. Oh, so-and-so had that house listed. It's kind of funny how you start doing that, or people by addresses. I had some people come up to me once, and it was at the store, so totally out of what we did together. So I looked at them and I thought, I know them. They said hello, and they go, you probably don't remember us. And I said, oh, yeah, you bought the house. Couldn't remember their name, but I knew what house they bought.
You knew the address.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because, some you keep in contact with, some just, they want to buy, and that's the end of it. But yeah, they're all a little memorable.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I love that you kind of put a little bit of the history. Like, I remember doing a couple open houses with you, and you were in that, and you were like, yeah, they say it's haunted.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I know. It's so fun to come through some of the house, and they'll say, oh, this one's,
Right.
haunted, or you see the history. Like I said, my dad owned a business, and I pulled the profile from the title company. It says, oh, Craft Wall Edition, and that's what he owned. Or, it has that name, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was a home they built because I grew up with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And are you from here locally?
Born and raised, and moved away for probably about 20 years.
Oh my
And
god!
then moved back, maybe 15 or 20, yeah.
Where were you at?
Went to the Tri-Cities first.
Okay.
Moved to California for about 5 years, and back to the Tri-Cities, then back home.
And what about this area has drawn you back?
Well, my husband, for one.
I guess.
We went to school together, and we got together at our 20-year class reunion. So, yeah. So it was nice. But my parents were still here at the time. So, yeah, it was nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then the outskirts. Do you do much for outskirt properties?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah. I'm sure being from here,
Oh, yeah.
plenty of people.
Yeah, and my kids live up in Nespers, so that gives me a reason to go up there if I go that direction. I can see the grandkids, right?
Yes. Did you guys have a good Easter?
We did. We spent it up on the farm.
I saw.
Oh, yeah. It was
it good?
Yeah, it was nice.
I love this weather, except today.
Yeah, it's kind of
rainy.
Lucky. Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with clients that you all by phone, never met them?
I have helped people purchase a home and never met them, and videoed the home, made the offer, did all the stuff for them, and
Wow.
that's it.
That's
And
fun.
they've all been good. I have one now that's like a third-time buyer from me. 2 of them were bought. Well, one they did see. The other one I picked for them and videoed, and they bought it, and they ended up loving it. Now they're transitioning into another one, and then we'll sell that one. So, yeah, I've done it quite a bit. So
Is social media, I mean, if you think back in the construction stuff, and faxes and, email and all that, what has been like the biggest hurdle through all those? Or are you kind of you learn pretty easy?
Um, I not a if you know, and my broker will say this in every office. Don't like change, but I deal with change.
Yeah.
I've changed, and
Yeah.
do all the e-sign and all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't had a real issue with it. Social media, yes, I do post on there. Do I like to do it live? No, I'm not a live social media. I think I sound terrible, and
Oh.
no, I mean it's like no, thank you.
I
But
know it's a learning curve.
it is.
Even just doing this.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
But I'm getting better, maybe.
You're good at it.
Is there something that you still do, maybe that you did back then that you do now, or do you like keep files of everything
I
still?
keep files.
Yeah.
And here's my thing.
Tell
Everybody
me.
says, "Oh, go paperless." Well, then you go to look up something, and you can't find it. We're searching in their in the computer file, and you can't find it. I have it right there.
You know exactly where it's at.
That's right. So yes, I do. Much easier.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So
And with the construction, you have pretty good eye for design.
I don't know if I'm a great designer for. It's a little bit different. Like design and building are kind of,
Yeah.
I like the stuff that goes in the walls, the construction part of it, and the design part of it is just kind of fluff to me. But as
You
far
like
as
the
a
more
floor
structured.
plan,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and I've designed a few of them, but yeah, I'm not an interior decorator by any means. I don't think I'm bad, but I'm not gonna.
Your taste.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Is there
say.
an area in town that you like love the most out of
Where I'm living now,
where you? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the new edition.
the new edition. Yeah.
Orchards.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love it out there. Yeah.
What are some positives?
We have sidewalks, which I used to be on the ombudsman thing and fought the sidewalks as a builder to put in. But now out there in the subdivision, they have them everywhere, and we walk every day on them. It's great.
I know
Yeah.
our street, our kids, they're always in the road, riding bikes
yeah.
and stuff. But there's no sidewalk. There's no, even if we wanted to do the block,
Oh yeah,
traffic's just too
we can pretty much walk 3 miles around our neighborhood. and
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just the openness and
it is.
all that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there trees or do you have to?
We're planting our own trees.
Okay, you have to ask about those since the.
Our CCNRs are good. They're about what they should be.
Okay.
So they're not super strict, but they're not lax, because there are a couple places where, you have to
little more
tell them what what you're planting, what you're,
What kind of tree?
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So,
I guess it's fun to see in 10 years or 20 to see
oh yeah.
the difference from now to
Oh, I know.
then, and
Yeah.
it's wild.
Because it's just all a wheat field where they're developing, and it's like, yeah, we'll have to put the trees in.
I'm sure too you've seen all sorts of things, getting built and change. And I remember when we would come into town from Cottonwood
Oh, mhm.
and where Home Depot and all that. I remember that just being rock.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't even there.
I remember when Kmart wasn't even there. I'm aging myself, but I was in school.
Yeah. Is this for our town, to get bigger is to expand out or
I think growth is good. I mean, we've all got kids. Do we want them to move away and work? No. So, I mean, going back again to my dad, he fought the city for years. It's just one of those things here. You fight to bring infrastructure, to bring businesses in, and they make it so hard, and they don't need to. It would just flourish. And it's not going to get to the point where it's so big like, Spokane or anywhere like that.
overpopulated.
No. Mm-mm. No, we have enough ground, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
And, we have the rivers that come up here. I mean, it's just a great place to be. And you can still control it, but let it grow.
Has the city been always like that?
Yes.
Even when you guys were building?
I've got stories way back.
Oh, gosh. I'm sure even construction back then, too.
Yeah.
They were strict.
Yeah.
And it's always been like that.
Yeah.
Whose job? Who decides all that? Or just one person?
No. And I think that's a little bit of the problem. We have too many Too many Indians and
Cooks
not
in
enough
the-
chiefs.
Too many cooks in the
That, I
kitchen.
shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna cut that one.
We'll cut that one, Daryl. Okay. Too many cooks in the
care.
kitchen.
There you go.
There we
Okay.
Change it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I hear ever, is the city stuff. And
Yeah.
my father-in-law worked for the city.
Yeah.
And so I've definitely heard him complain also
Mhm.
from about the city,
Yeah.
but it's just, something you can't work around.
Yeah.
And like with this building,
Mhm.
with it going to be an event center,
Right.
they, what was it, Daryl? They were like something about the door handles had to be a certain thing. And
Mhm. You have to jump through a lot of hoops,
Yeah.
and they don't have to make it that hard. They can still make it safe and still good, but
Right.
just let's just one person make that decision.
For like maybe a new build, what is
Mm.
something that just like irks you? That's like,
Oh, well, I'll tell you about my first spec home I built. So we took in the plans, and one person said, "Here's where the setback can be," and we're like, "Well, can we bring it a little forward?" And one engineer said, or one person looked at the plan, said, "Yeah, I don't know what the problem is." I said, "Well, this person said this," and he said, "Well, I'll look into it." Okay, well, the other guy went out, and we had to do the setbacks way far back, and it
yeah.
was just and it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Just be realistic,
Yeah.
It
Sure.
doesn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
So
Is what your husband, did he ever get really into any of that? Or was he
No,
was at the mill?
he was
Yeah.
at the mill, but
Yeah.
he would go to the sites and keep them clean and stuff like
nice.
that.
I know
Yeah.
he would always
Yeah.
see
I
him
would tell you what we
carry-
called him, but I won't say it out here.
And how supportive it is to have family
Oh yeah.
help you out and everything.
Mhm.
And he's so sweet to be right by your side. And
I know.
when we were doing the open house for your mom's place, and he was he in the mountain, or you were in the cabin?
Oh
He
yeah,
came
yeah.
down and
Mhm.
he was like, "No, I'm gonna stay here."
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he didn't come down. No, he stays away from that stuff. But
With it being, kind of a like close and personal property,
Mhm.
And were you very much more on like this right family has to come in here and fulfill this?
at times, because it was by our house too, but it was just hard because it was her dream home,
I know.
and she, so selling it, it was like, okay, at one point I don't care, another point I did, and then the people that bought it are really nice. So
Good.
yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah,
Was it ever in a trust? Can I ask that?
yeah. You can. No,
No?
it was just myself and my two brothers.
Have you dealt with, I'm sure, with clients with trust
Oh yeah,
stuff or estate?
estate,
Yeah.
a lot, yeah. And it's,
What are some things that you should like steer caution to working with clients like that?
when it's an estate, you have to be really careful because a lot of them live in different areas. Everybody thinks they're an armchair realtor or know the area, and I'm not meaning that rude, but it's true. They come from a different area, so they don't know what our area is like, and so that makes it tough. And then, it's sad sometimes because some of the siblings are wanting a little more than the other ones, and my comment is, this was given to you. It's a gift, and take what you get and don't. That's what I was going to just say.
I saw it.
It's so, it's just, but, and then it's hard for some of them because some of them, it's their parents. I mean, I just dealt with it. It was very hard to, clean it out, get rid of stuff and get it on the market and then sell it. It can be very trying and sad for some. So you just have to be compassionate and caring, patient. Yeah. And stern when you need to be,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's good. And the way that you like even like talk to me about, stuff with work, and the way that you are like constructive, I wouldn't say criticism, but you give your opinion and it's like, yep.
I know.
And I
Somebody just said that to me.
Did they?
Today, somebody I work with, she said, she goes, I used that directness you used. And I'm like, oh, and it's like, sometimes I think, is that a bad thing?
No, I think it's talent, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you just have to know how to say it.
Yeah.
And you have to be confident when you're saying it. I'm not going to say something I don't know anything about that way.
Yeah.
That's just an argument.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I'm very much the kind of skittish,
Mm-hmm.
say,
Yeah.
or just timid. Maybe I don't know if it's just that I haven't been really in the business that long, or,
Right.
just that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But I know with time that'll get more and more.
It is. And I think it's even an age thing, really.
Yeah.
The more you're in it, and an age thing.
Like when you first started to now.
Oh, completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, my first deal was a $30,000 cash deal up in Kendrick, and he gave me cash for the earnest money and said, "Here you go." And I'm driving to town with this guy's earnest money cash, going, "Okay, here we go." And you can't do cash anymore for that, but it was kind of funny, and I'm just like, okay, and I was thrilled, and I can tell you what house it was and everything.
You have all that memory.
Yeah.
I'll do bingo. I'll, host it, and
Uh-huh.
I'll say a number, a letter number, put it down, immediately gone out of my head. I don't know what I called.
I don't know. Sometimes the long term is sometimes better than the short term,
Right?
Yeah.
That's so fun that you can go. I did. Where was it? Was it on Normal Hill, that one that was haunted? It was so funny because you were like, "Oh, these people used to live here, and I know these people that you lived across the street.
Oh.
They did an addition, and I was just
Right.
like,
Yeah. You just get to know your neighborhood. Yeah. So
wild."
it is. And you just get to know your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When it comes to mentoring, is that something that you do, or kind of an
I
open
mean,
book?
I'm not going to tell somebody no if they ask me a question. My husband always goes, consulting fee. I said, no, it makes you feel good when somebody comes to you.
Yeah.
There are certain ones I go to in the office too. I mean, and in our office, we do that a lot. We work well together, and we'll ask each other, and and we have a good broker.
Yeah. Good dynamic. And
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So it's nice.
Never feeling like you're all by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have her look at, offers I write or listings. You don't want to have that one little deal.
Yes.
And of course, both states just changed forms. And
yes,
I did one the other day, and it's like the lines have moved down, and I just typed away, and it's like, oh,
it's changed.
Didn't catch it till I sent it to the other agent. And she's like,
oh no.
So
when it comes to like your continuing ed,
mm-hmm.
You try to get it done.
I did this year.
You did?
Idaho for the first time I was done.
Are you every other then for your?
So Washington is on your or Idaho's on your birthday for me. And mine was when I got my Washington, whereas I know a lot of them are both on their birthdays, but they changed it. So it's like December for Washington. I got Idaho first because I did a class. So Idaho on my birthday, then Washington, but not in the same year because December 2023, and then you go into the next
2025.
Something like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how
it's weird. Ours is every year at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
No matter when you started, no matter when you...
Thank God it's every 2 years for us.
Right.
I know, because it's a lot because it's, 21 for Idaho and 30 for Washington. Now they've thrown in 2 cores and...
Yeah.
We had the 6-hour fair housing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we had to do that.
You sat through that whole thing.
I did it online.
Oh, good. I was going to say.
So I could click off every once in a while.
There, we get offered like, oh yeah, this place is, you can do it all in one day. It's an 8-hour webinar, type thing. And I'm just like, I'd rather get it done on my own time.
Yeah.
One of those that kind of wait till the
I know. Well, the thing online is we have those little mini tests at the end. It's like, oh man, it's like, okay, I take it 3 times and I still can't do it.
5% is in the
out of 5 questions and I missed 3. So, I know. So meaning I didn't, pay too much attention.
That's funny.
So,
and for testing for when you got licensed, I mean, with us, I got it's national,
right?
So one test for every, and then you apply to states. With yours, where did you go for your test?
Coeur d'Alene. I did a class up there, and it was you have to do your state and your national the same day.
Really?
And I passed the national, did not pass the state. But in the classes, I was passing them, in the 90%. But you go in there.
Nerves.
But and then passed it the next time.
Oh, good.
Washington, kind of the same deal.
Good.
So, but every realtor asks them what a 43-560 is.
What is it?
That's an acre. That's a number. Everybody told me. Remember, 43,560.
Brittany, I'm pretty sure, has told me that.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, I will never forget that.
No,
because I remember
so funny.
her and I would go. We would drive,
Mhm.
and she had her little baby, who was her oldest son,
Right.
at the time, and I would watch him on the sugar test, and
Oh yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
43,560. Like somebody told me that. Now
Really,
it's always in your head. Yeah. So it's kind of weird.
that's fun.
Yeah. So
Are you, is there an end goal for the realtor job, or is it just kind of you're going to do it
I'm probably gonna
forever and ever?
stay. I don't know. I said another 5 years. My husband retired, so.
Oh, he did.
But yeah, so
You loving it?
Yeah, and I'm actually in the office more now because he's doing stuff at home, so I don't have to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he does
A little bit of a breather.
ask me what's my chores today.
Oh, that's a good. That's
He's a good guy. So yeah,
Good.
he does good stuff.
Has he dabbled in any hobbies yet, or like activities?
He's still got that to-do list that he's trying to mark off.
He knows what's priority.
Right?
That's funny.
Yeah. So
So you don't really, maybe 5 years?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the new changes, the last few years, what is something that you've had to like combat or change the ways of your?
And I'm not going to delve into it because I don't really study it too much, but I know there's that lawsuit now. They're talking about the commissions, and
changes.
people are getting misunderstanding. It's being misconstrued. So we've had those calls of where they say, "Oh, your commission is going to go down." And I watched some guy on YouTube. He's an agent from somewhere, and he explained it really well. It's kind of going back to when before you listed a house, but you weren't a buyer's agent years and years ago.
Didn't exist.
It didn't exist.
Yeah.
So somebody came and bought the house, and you just did the listing side. Well, then it became a lot of lawsuits, and then it became you had buyer's agents or people that could do both sides. And the sellers paid and I believe back then, and don't quote me, but it's a possibility. I think the buyers then would pay some kind of commission. And I don't think it's going to change the way we do paperwork and the way we explain things and the way and there are going to be those people that are going to say, no, I'm not going to pay it. They're going to pay it. But, in the end, it all comes out in the wash. So, if the buyer's going to pay it, they're probably going to ask for less on it. If the seller pays for it, they'll put a little more on it.
Just more negotiation.
It's just more negotiation. Yeah. So it's just a little bit of understanding it and how to explain it to the consumer, basically. Yeah.
I saw
And I may have that wrong, so please.
No.
I don't want to hear from a bunch of realtors saying,
hey now.
Nope.
This article.
That's the way I understand it. And I'm doing it.
I saw a funny thing that was like, you're almost like a hostage negotiator, but you have the hostages.
I know, right?
Or something. I saw it.
Yeah. And
Hilarious.
and that's one of the hard things is when you have both sides of a deal. I don't mind doing it, and I'm super, they'll say to me, well, how high can they go? Well, I'm your agent now, but I'm their agent too. And, it's kind of like in the medical field, there's a HIPAA rule. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Yep.
And the same as the buyers ask, well, how much will I go down to? And it's just, you can't. So to me, I don't have to have both sides of it because that sellers are going to sell and that buyer's going to buy something.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why muddy the waters with both sides? If I do, fine. It's just, a little tougher, and you have to just make them understand that you're honest and you're not going to do that. So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So, I know people like both sides, but it's like I said, the buyer's going to buy, the seller's going to sell. You're going to still get both sides if you look at it that way.
How many, throughout your career, have you had the both sides? I don't know.
I can't even tell you.
But
yeah, I have no idea.
Good chunk, maybe.
Yeah. Because a lot of times you'll have a buyer and then you have this person come in with this house that's perfect for them. And those are nice to do. It's just nice and smooth and easy. And
have you ever had buyers that are like, this is our specific needs, and you find that house have you found one with all of someone's needs?
If they're not too needy.
Not too
Depends how long that list is.
out of this world.
I don't want that color. Yeah.
Yes.
But, not a huge compromise. A lot of them. I
good.
think a lot of my people have gone in level-headed, or
Yeah.
know they're going to have to maybe give up something, or
Turn it into their own.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just, I'm like, what if you had the golden goose egg? Just
Right.
this, oh, I'd have the perfect house for you.
Right.
Checks off every box.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's like, nope.
Not funny.
Sorry.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
you
they're
take
like,
them there, like, yeah, no.
fine.
It's like, okay. And I usually try to read them pretty well, so we go to the homes that I know they're going to like.
Yeah.
And once in a while, they'll just switch on you. And it's like, oh, okay, didn't know you were going to pick that one.
That's funny.
So,
Properties or just vacant lots. Have you sold some of those too?
I have one listed up in Waha. It's a great deal. But yeah, there's been quite a few lots come up, and
Yeah.
the difference is, like, if you have on the outskirts, we have a lot of people wanting to put tiny homes, mobile homes, and they're going to be more in the outskirts. So if you can find those for them, that's great.
Mhm.
And the only problem with a lot of rural, they don't have, you have to put your well and sometimes bring your power in and all of that. Whereas in town, they're pretty well developed.
They're there.
And have it there. So,
Structured in it and-
yeah, even though you have to pay to have the hookups done and stuff,
Yeah.
it's not as costly as like a well and things like that. So,
Is that something that you like walk through your clients with, like, oh yeah, go to this person for this thing and structure it to like that? If it was
What do you
more
mean?
like getting the well or getting
oh, yeah.
goal and
Yeah, you have to kind of explain it to them and get some costs for them and, give them some numbers and ask.
yeah.
So, yeah.
With the outskirts, is it priced higher?
It just really depends. Like, up around where we have our cabin, there's view lots up there and things like that. And it's in a desirable area. So, yeah, they're getting quite a bit of money for acreage up there.
Is the view the biggest?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Especially around the lake up there. If you have a view of the lake, it's going to be a little,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Any of the water, any water.
Any water view, yeah, pretty much. So, and then there's, but there's nice mountain views up there too. So, and they're up high and they've got ground around them, so nobody's really can build really close.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think too, like the sunsets out there, and we've gone fishing and
Oh yeah,
that, and oh yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah, and the trees, some want it so it's open, but then you have the trees too.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Is one little thing that I've been asking. I didn't ask on the last one, Dara. I just realized
no.
of the candy corn or Peeps. If you had to eat one,
Candy corn,
yeah,
hands down.
that's fair too.
My ex-husband ate Peeps.
That explains something. No, I'm kidding. Isn't that funny?
Mhm.
Yeah, Dara and I are on the candy corn
Yeah,
phase.
yeah.
Yeah. I had Chantel Salderit on, and her answer was the funniest thing. She loves Peeps, but she loves to leave them out and open for days till they're like,
Oh,
and then she eats them.
oh, that's
You're
weird.
And so on Easter, it's funny. She sent me a picture that was like, I left my Peeps out.
Oh my
I
God,
was
that's
like, oh my gosh. that's
Have you ever
wild.
put one in the microwave?
No.
Oh, put one in the microwave. Yeah, they
No
puff right
way.
up. Oh yeah,
Really?
uh-huh.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let the kids do it.
The kids. I know.
Mm.
And how many grandkids down you guys?
4, and then my husband's oldest daughter, she's due, I think, in the next 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, she lives in Omaha, so
What's she having?
girl.
Cute.
So we
Oh,
have-
girl.
I know.
Man.
So we have 2 girls, 2 boys.
Love
2
that.
girls live in Nespers on the farm. The boys are down here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So,
try to, spend more time with them. And
well, we're taking them on a Disney World trip in about, I think we're at 40 some days.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be so
Yeah,
fun.
it
Have
will
they
be.
been before?
No,
Even better.
no. So
Well,
we're taking the parents. We're not taking them by ourselves.
There's no way.
No. No.
Well, that's exciting.
I can barely have all 4 of them in my house for more than about 4 hours. It's like, oh God.
Was it Christmas? They were all in matching pajamas. And yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
so
yep.
fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Are you
So-
gonna give them any words of advice when they're older about buying houses or?
All of
how to start buying the
all of our kids have bought homes. So
they're
what
fun.
does that say for you?
Did you teach them or?
Yeah, well, I helped them, and
Oh,
we
good.
kind of taught them how to, do your credit thing and all that.
Good.
And yeah, my
Yes.
youngest client was 19, and she's actually a manager at Hot Shots.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Great.
she is. Yeah, she's now on her second house for her husband.
Uh-huh.
Yep, her and Derek, Cameron and Derek.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, funny. I was
Yep.
trying to think, like, who is that?
Yes,
When I was 19,
Cameron is just. Yeah, she's.
oh man,
just
no.
really-
I if I could go back in time, I would give her a hug and also punch her because
I know she was just awesome, and she's just really,
that's awesome.
structured in how she did it. and
No,
she's ready.
yeah, like I said, if I was 19 doing that, no, my 19-year-old self was awful. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
She'll tell you the smartest investment she ever made.
I bet.
Yeah. Just really, she knew it, and she came from good parents,
Yeah,
grandparents. so,
guidance and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So,
And do you know your oldest client?
oh, I don't know. Of selling. Mom was old. I
funny.
Yeah. I don't know the oldest. When they hit a certain age, you don't ask their age.
Not allowed to.
That time they should know. So,
Yeah, right. Oh, that's
So,
funny.
Anyway.
Well, I feel like I've chatted your ear off.
I know.
so
It's been
far.
great.
Right?
I
Flies
enjoyed
by
it.
when
It
you're
does.
sitting here.
Right?
Not as bad as you thought.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to look at it.
I do love that we're all
I
wearing
know,
yellow.
right?
Yeah. No
Well, it's
plan.
kind of Century 21's color.
Green, too.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I almost-
Definitely.
I started to get dressed, and it's like, oh yeah, I better not wear that today.
One, I was wearing my jean jacket, but I had a beer shirt.
Oh,
Just a plain old t-shirt, and I put this on. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure is that professional,
right?
even though we drink beer in here sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, Debbie, I appreciate you coming on here.
No worries. I
love
love it.
this.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
With end. Thank you.